Hey riders, December 26th, 2023. It's Boxing Day. And guess what? I'm definitely not returning things to the mall today. There's no way. I'm going to stay home and watch some bike racing. Today I saw an event. We're going to be loading into it right away. It's just started. Put on by Team Gure, Gure. And it looks like there's about 80 something riders signed up for it. Let's get to the front of the pack here and see what's going on. Quickly look through the start list before. Definitely saw some big hitters here. You can see Gil Matteo on screen right now. Paz Jordi 60. These are very familiar names to me. With these names here, strap yourselves in. Let's buckle up, because I think we're going to see a bunch of really cool battles going on here. Gure team puts on quite a few events, I've noticed, and they have a big, huge team. I would say out of the, I think when I last looked here, just like 30, 40 seconds before I started talking here, there was 86 riders signed up for this. Not really sure how many started. You know, sometimes things happen at the last second. Family duties, things call you away, your computer died on you. So yeah, this is the perfect route today. I was actually considering jumping into this. So this is from La Vuelta 2023, Stage 7, Playa de Granada. It's like 23 kilometers with 60 meters of, I'm going to air quotes, climbing. There's no climbing here. It's just really flat. In fact, the only climb is coming up right away here. We're going to be hitting it probably in the next 30 to 40 seconds. Let's just take a little look around here. So at the front, so some of these names I recognize, some I don't know at all. I've seen this Risky's Gure before. This rider here, ooh, things are moving very faster at the front in this 4, 5, 6 watt per kilo group. Look at this rider up front here, just smashing out 8 watts per kilo. So the hill on this course today is the bridge. So everyone's going to smash 9 watts per kilo over top of this bridge. Take a look at this. This looks like El Roland. Not really sure what their name is. Just smashing out some huge watts over top of the bridge. What I'd like to do is jump to the back just so that way I can figure out how many riders we actually have involved here. How many people have actually started in this race today? So, funnily enough, it said there was 86 signed up, and it looks like there's only 32 on course at the moment. So, a lot of interest in signing up, and then people didn't bother to show, which is unfortunate. You can see some riders at the back here tackling the hill / bridge. Still working very strong. I mean, these riders further back still pushing in excess of 3 watts per kilo here. As they tackle ways, you can see a rider here, MSC S. McCullough, coming off the bridge right now. Pushing power down the hill, trying to get back up to speed, get back over that 40k an hour thing. We've got Howlin' Mad chasing Rodabalo Saposa. It's a new name for me. Who's quickly pursuing a Gure rider. Wooden Wheels. Pushing really hard here at 4.8 watts per kilo. So we're at that early part too where little groups are starting to form. People are trying to decide, what am I going to do here? You can see this rider here, Wooden Wheels, is going to have to make a decision. They're in no man's land, and I think they see the rider ahead of them, Taquito. You can see them on screen right now. So there's Taquito. I think Wooden Wheels is going to try to catch on with them. You're better off to be with someone else versus just smashing into the wind by yourself. You can have a draft. So Wooden Wheels, they could jump up here, take a bit of a breather behind Taquito, and they're usually the rider in front knows they're coming. So they'll let you get a bit of a rest before they're going to want you to do some work. I'm going to move up through the field a little bit here. Let's get back to the front. So yeah, here we can see Gil Matteo. I've seen Gil Matteo in lots of races that we put on. He's been showing up quite a bit to our Sunday regular race. Very strong rider. He's won several of those races. So we've got Gil Matty at the front, Risky's Gure. Then we've got L. Roland, who was just going onto that bridge, pushing 9 watts per kilo. Paz Jordy 60. Funnily enough, sorry about that, tripping over my own words. Paz Jordy 60 was in, I believe, the first race I ever tried to do some commentary on. It's my first version of Captor Fermentor. I'm almost positive they were in that race. I'll have to go back and have a look at it. Very strong rider. You can see here pushing like 6 watts per kilo type thing. We've got, this looks like, another Gure rider here. Eddie, I know it's abbreviated for something. Let's just call him Armada. So we've got Armada for the Gure team. We've got SP. We've got another Gure rider, Erlates. Here's more Gure, Pimporo. So I'm guessing most of these people probably know each other. That's what's really cool about joining, like, if you want to call it a team or a club, or even joining like racing series on Rouvy, is that you're going to get to know all the names around you. Like Gil Matteo has been joining our rides. So going forward from this point, we never really had a name for our rides. Our Discord channel where we got started is just Rouvy Riders Indoor Cycling. That's what I called it. And it's everyone's channel to jump into and have fun in there and talk about riding, talk about bikes, bike races, organizing events. So going forward, though, we're going to call our events Rouvy Riders. So if you're ever looking for an event to do and you want to, maybe you want to try to ride with us, see if we're your style or not, Rouvy Riders, just spell it out. Our Sunday ride, we're always going to be nice, short, flat races. Actually, you know what? Something very similar to like the one that we're watching right now would be the style of race that we like to do on Sunday. It's not going to take up your whole day. It's not going to beat you up so bad that you need to go to sleep on the couch for 6 hours. Just something to go out and have fun. You can blast, you can race, you can just take it easy. So let's jump back here. I see a group of, looks like 4 riders at the back. So I just want to see who's all here. So yeah, okay, we do have 34 riders. So I think some people joined late. And then we've got some people that probably never got started, had disconnect issues. So in 34th place, we got Leo 7. I think Leo started late. We've got 8 CHR 15 just coming up on the bridge right now. So our one climb of the day, Sylv 33, this guy's name always throws me off, Sylv 30,330. I want to say it different every time. I know they had a bad start here too. It looks like they disconnected and now they're powering their way up through the field. Seen this rider a lot. Incredible climber. Macacop. This is the name, so I'm just going to say Gerson Lucci. They've got their ranking. I think that's from the Mamaki series. Looks like a Brazilian rider, I believe. Then we've got Bondi. Let's see Bondi out here. We've got a Gure rider, Joda. And look at this here. We got a little bit of a race here. So where you can see this Gure rider, they're 500 meters ahead of Bondi. But this Gure rider is now closing in on W. Takuski. So... and also Salvo Suto. So there's a nice little 3-way battle forming right there. Those 3 need to get together and then fight it out at the end. We've got Philippe MG. Kind of riding solo as well. Crompton is riding with S. McCullough. This is smart. Stick together. Hopefully they're like comparable riders so they can work together. Sometimes you'll find you catch up with someone that's way, or someone passes you that's way stronger than you. Don't try to hang on if you don't have the ability to, because they're going to blow you up. So here, McCullough should try to get in Crompton's wheel, get that draft. Good job. So right now, that's perfect positioning, right at that 3 to 4 meters behind the rider ahead of you. So S. McCullough is doing the right thing here. Getting probably a really good draft right now. Probably 60, 70 watt savings. So hopefully they're going to end up taking their turn at the front and McCullough and Crompton can work together. We're going to jump up to Howling Mad. Oh, look at this little group here. So Howling Mad, then we got Rabadalo Saposa, and we've also got Gure Treku. We've got another 3 rider group here, all working together nice. All look like seasoned riders, so they know what they're doing. Maybe Rabadalo's putting a little bit of push on the front here. Looks like they just backed off a little bit, like, you know, hey guys, get on my wheel, let's work together. You don't want to be the person up front doing all the work, right? So sometimes if you see that going on, you're just going to like ease off the power and say, hey, your turn, get out front. Got wooden wheels ahead of them. And this is another good one here too. Take a look at this. So we've got wooden wheels and Taquito. And before I was saying it would make sense to me if wooden wheels caught up with Taquito to work together. And look what happened. They are now with Gitan 42. 3-rider group here. All look very comparable. All drafting together. Perfect riding here. This is what you want to see. You know, so I keep saying again and again, it's battles within the battle, races within the race. So I've done commentaries on races before where I thought the more exciting stuff was happening somewhere mid-pack to maybe the front third, not the winner. The winner just can sometimes just walk away from everyone. They're that strong, that dominant over the rest. They're just doing a ride and no one else can keep up. The fun stuff's happening further back. So let's move up the field. Looks like Zav Bolo. I'm going to guess their name is probably Xavier Bolo. Let's just go with that. And look, there's a bunch of riders here. So Xavier's in 16th place. I believe that's their name. Wearing this Challenge Red jersey here. And right ahead of them, they got some Gure riders. There's all sorts of action here. Looks like we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7 riders together there. A couple of Gure riders. We've got so there's Zav Bolo. We've got Satis, maybe that's how you say it. We've got Lupu from Gure. We've got Klaus Kinski from Gure. And here's Pimporo again from Gure. We saw this rider earlier. So that's up to 10th spot. And there's that SP rider. SP is in this whitish jersey on the right-hand side of the screen right now. Riding right alongside Erlates. And so you've got a big bunch of riders right there. Looks like you've probably got 9 riders within a couple hundred meters of each other, up to 9th spot, 8th spot, 7th spot, and then there's a bit of a gap. And I can see here that our Armada Gure rider has got themselves in a little bit of no man's land, so they're strong enough to stay away from the runs behind them, that big pack of riders. But just, you know, didn't catch the break of the rider that's in 5th place here. You know, it happens. If you're not paying attention and you kind of doze off for a second, and when I say doze off, it could be anything. We're all at home riding our bikes inside. Stuff happens at home. I'm notorious for when I go to switch my music, I'll drop by like 1 watt per kilo. So instead of doing 3.5, 4 watts per kilo, all of a sudden I look down and I'm doing 2.2 watts per kilo. I've missed the break and it's over. You could have your spouse walk in the door and start chatting with you about supper, and you're trying to concentrate, right? So this again is Armada Gure, kind of in no man's land. You know, they may be just waiting to see how it plays out because they really can't wait for the riders behind them. To wait for riders that are 200 meters back when Armada looks quite strong, they're riding at 4 watts per kilo all the way here. There's no point waiting for the riders behind. They're going to have to catch you. And maybe there'll be some fallout from the action in front. So moving up in 5th place, and check this out. The front pack is 5 riders. Risky's Gure, Paz Jordi, I don't know how you say this name. Call him Cap for now. Capuas. Just say Cap. Jill Matteo and El Roland. We've got a really strong group at the front here. These are all your like high, 4 or 5 watt per kilo riders. We're currently almost 11 kilometers in, and they're still smashing out 4 to 5 watts per kilo. Coming into a tiny bit of a downhill here. I wonder if anyone's going to try to push forward. Catch anyone sleeping at this point now. I think they're all just going to try to stay together, rest conservatively. But, out of these 5, so these 5 riders at the front right now, they know each other. You know, I think if you're riding at the front in these races, in a Gure type league race, Gure event, you know, it's kind of a big name. You'll have seen these people before. You know what they're capable of. So some people here, if they're not sprinters, are going to have to start thinking about how they're going to get away. The sprinters are fine to sit in. You know, like the bigger sprinters, like say you're in like a 90 kilogram rider and you've got like a 12, 13, 1400 watt sprint at the end. You're more than happy to sit right in with these people. Some of the small, looks like a little bit of a push on the right hand side here. Some of the smaller, lighter riders are going to think about, how am I getting away? How early do I got to go? And just saying that out loud, Gilles Mathieu is kind of pushing a little bit harder at the front. You can see by, like, you know, underneath their names, if you've never seen this before, the color bar, it's kind of like a power indicator. Green means they're working just normal, yellow harder, orange and red they're working very hard at this point, and that's based on their FTP and their watts per kilogram data. So Gilles Mathieu is pushing more like close to 5 watts per kilo, forcing the others to try to keep up. Probably giving them a little bit of a test, but everyone's right here. I'm going to move back to Armada. Let's see how Armada's doing. So Armada has lost ground to the front 5, but the group behind him, which consists of probably 9 riders, is not making any progress on catching him. So Armada's having a really strong ride here. We've got SP, so we're going to jump back 200 meters. We've got SP, Erlates, Pimporo, Ender Wiggum. Didn't see this rider before. Sorry about that. The person I keep calling is... Oh, so there's a group. So there's 4 riders in a group, and then we're going to drop back 180 meters to Xavier Bolo, who's with probably 5 other riders. We've got Esbelio here, Marquitos, a Gure rider, Lupu from Gure, Klaus Kinski from Gure, Sadis. So they're all together as well. So again, battles within the battles. We can go back to Gaetan, Taquito, and Wooden Wheels. Those 3 are still together as well. Working really strong together here. I mean, so we're looking at, what is this? 17th, 18th, and 19th place. And, you know, they're riding most of the times over 3 watts per kilo. When they're taking breaks, they're under 3 watts per kilo. Again, super strong riders back here. Very strong riders. I don't really know enough about them to say who's the strongest. Taquito is pushing some more power at the front. Maybe they're trying to put someone into some hurt here. Gaetan, 6 meters back. Wooden Wheels, a further 6 meters back behind that. Don't drift back too far, because you will lose the draft and you'll find yourself alone very quick. So behind Wooden Wheels, so I think that might be happening here. You can see a bit of a gap opening between Gaetan and Wooden Wheels. It just takes a second for it to happen. So let's see what goes down here. It's very hard to get yourself back here. So Wooden Wheels is doing an awesome job here, pushing out to almost 4 watts per kilo there. They have to make the move to get back on now. And you got to make that decision like within seconds, because after a few seconds, you're never going to get back. If they're riding at 3 watts per kilo and you're chasing at 4, it's going to take all day to catch them. And you're going to be just shattered at that point. So you kind of have to react as fast as possible. And from what I'm seeing here, that's what Wooden Wheels has done. What would it be nice? And I can just see a slight downhill starting right now. We're at minus 0.4% grade. So this should help Wooden Wheels kind of get back on. They're within 10 meters. I think they're going to pull themselves back. Yep, down to 9 meters. Great job. Excellent work, Wooden Wheels. Let's just fly right back to the front to see if anything's happened in the front 5. What has happened here? It looks like all 5 are still together. Risky's Gure, Gilles Mathieu, Cap, Paz Jordi 60, and L. Roland. Nothing's changed here. And they are flying. Armada's just doing their own ride today. I don't know enough about Armada to speculate anything. Looks like they're just cruising along right now, looks like the group behind them can't catch them, and the group ahead is just hammering right now. So I think Armada's just doing, hey, I'm going to do my ride here. they're going to have to catch me. So I would do the same thing. I would be thinking to myself, hey, all those riders behind me, those 9 riders that are close together behind me, you got to catch me. I don't have to do anything here. So backing up a little bit, a couple hundred meters to Pimporo, we've got our Lates there. Ender Wigham is right there as well, SP. So we got a 4-rider group there, looking really sharp, working together. You know, all sorts of power here, 3 watts as they're rotating through the pace line. We'll pop back to this group, Bello, Zav, Bolo. Look here. Okay, interesting. Looks like Marquitos is trying to get away. So Marquitos, who I believe was part of that group, is trying to jump across, or they've been shelled out of the back of the group that's ahead of them. I'm not really sure here. We're going to have a little look. Let's see what's going on here. But we've got Klaus Kinski tracing, Bello, Zav Bolo, Sadis. They're all together. A little gap to Lupu here. I think Lupu's just been tailed out the back here. Hard to tell. I'm going to go back to this group here because I thought this is some of the coolest action in the race for me. The Wooden Wheels, Gaetan, and Taquito group. So here we can see Gaetan, 42. We got Wooden Wheels 2 meters behind him. So Wooden Wheels did come back. And Taquito's there as well. So that was probably like a big decision-making point in the race for Wooden Wheels. If I don't work super hard right now to get back on, just take that risk, get back on, rest, and hopefully, you know, all the conditioning they've acquired over all the training will help them recover and to hang with these 2 other riders. Because otherwise they were going to be dropped out the back. I'm going to just take a quick look. Let's just take a quick peek at the front 5. Has anything changed? Nothing has changed. You know, same riders. Gil Matteo, El Roland, Risky's Gure, Paz Jordi, Cap. All just keeping an eye on each other. You know, who is going to make the first move here? What I'd like to do now is jump further back. I see people further back and they're working just as hard as the front people. So I think I see a group of 2 here. This is one of the named, the rated riders, this A7151 you can see on screen. This Gerson Luki is riding with Bondi still. So they're just doing their thing back here. I can see 8 Chris, sorry, I keep wanting to say Chris with that name. 8 CHR15. It looks like Chris to me. In the dark jersey here, riding along. I see Leo 7. So Leo 7 right now I think is currently our last active rider on the race. It looks like the back, these are just disconnects back here, or riders that never started. So Leo 7's doing a great job at the back. Getting out for a nice post-Christmas gorge fest like I had last night. We had a 36-pound turkey. There was only 6 of us. We're going to have turkey for days. We're going to be sick of turkey, like I'm sure most of you probably will be. Supposedly someone's making soup, but it's not going to be me. I'll tell you that. I can see Sylv 330 working their way up through the field. Actually coming up right now on a Gure rider. So we've got Jota Gure here. Sylv is coming up hard. So Sylv had a very poor start. And I'm pretty sure when the race started, I saw them sitting dead stopped in the start chute, or maybe just after it. So they either disconnected or they stepped away for a second and didn't start at the right time. We've got Tukuski just ahead of Sylv. So Sylv's going to catch them. Let's move back up the field to these front 5 here. Same thing. Nothing's going to change here. These riders are so strong, so experienced. No one's going to make a mistake here in this group. It's just who's going to decide to go when. Or maybe they're just out for a nice, fast, leisurely ride, right? It's interesting here, though. Every time Gil goes to the front, he's always pushing like over 5 watts per kilo, which kind of makes the other riders react. I think every time he goes to the front, he's going to do a bit more than they're doing to see who kind of like dozes off. Here we go. Jill's doing like 5+ watts per kilo and all the rest are doing like 3 to 4. Some of that's got to do with the fact that they're drafting. But you just, you know, he's probably testing their legs a little bit. What do you really have left? Who's going to mark me? Someone has to mark him every time. And if you don't, let's say you're in a group with 3, 4 other riders, and someone pulls to the front and you think the other guy over here or that rider over there is going to mark them, and no one marks them, all of a sudden there's a gap. And once the gap starts, it gets really hard to bring them back. So, looks like it's all pretty much under control there. Armada. So, Armada's still riding by themselves, still riding very strong. They look like they're just over 70 kilogram rider, 72 kilograms, something like that. I have noticed here that the group behind him is starting to make a little bit of progress on them and pulling them back. Not much. They've only pulled back about 20 meters at this point. So that's the group with Gure, Aerolates, Pimporo, Ender Wiggum, SP, and then a further 250 meter backward to the next group. Look for the big kind of purpley pinky dot on the bottom of the profile here. That's Zavolo, who's with S. Bellio, Klaus Kinski, Satis. Ooh, okay, so what's going on here? I'm just going to have a quick look here. Okay, that's Marquitos, yes. And Lupu from Gure. And then we're actually a kilometer back to this group here, which I've really enjoyed watching these three. Taquito, Gatan 42, and Wooden Wheels. Now, something's happened here in the time that we've taken a little peek away at the front. Taquito and Gatan are together. Wooden Wheels has fallen back 64 meters at this point. So, I don't know if there was an attack that happened. Wooden Wheels had to work very hard to catch them the first time, so it might have been just a little bit of a, they spent too much gas at that point. But yeah, to me, that was some great action there. We're just watching Wooden Wheels chase back on. I'm going to go back to the front here. I might stick here for a little while now because things happen very fast. As you can tell, the group we were just following that were 16th, 17th, 18th, I missed something in the time that we just jumped to the front. So it looks here we have Riskies. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Someone can correct me later. Someone say something in the comments. 4 watts per kilo. This is a 60 kilogram rider. Lean and mean for sure. We got Cap right behind them. Paz Jordy still there. Gil Matteo and El Roland. Paz Jordy coming to the front very strong right now. They've decided to drop 5.5 watts per kilo at the front, and they already have a quick gap. They've already got 7, 8, 9 meter gap. Everyone is reacting as fast as they can. Look at this, Gil Matteo pushing almost 8 watts per kilo there. Everyone, yeah, that was a serious attack by Paz Jordy. I think he just kind of rolled through. Not like, hey, I'm going to sprint, but just, oh, it's my turn to roll through, and he just rolled through with maybe, 20% more power than what they were doing. And now Gil's saying, okay, you're going to do that? It's my turn. So now Gil Matteo is pushing out over 6, 7 watts per kilo right here. Maybe they're going to catch Paz Jordy out. Paz Jordy just put a quick, I don't want to call it an attack, but, applied a little bit more pressure. They're all testing each other's legs right now. So these 5 are in it for first, second, third, fourth, fifth place. There's no one else near them. It's like 1.3 kilometers back to the next rider. These are the big hitters right here. It might get crazy at the end. I'm not sure what kind of sprinting ability we have here. Again, the more I do this, the more I learn the riders. I know Gil Matteo has won a lot of races that I've been in. I'm finishing mid-pack and he's way up the road. So again, now we're back to more of that normal power stuff. Like seeing these guys riding at 3.8, 3.9, 4, 4.5, that just seems very normal to me. When I see someone coming through and they're doing 7.5, 8, they're doing something. They're just putting in a little test. Can you guys hang with me? What's going to happen? So earlier on, Paz Jordy did it. He made them all react. Okay, Paz Jordy's coming to the front again. 5 watts per kilo. This doesn't throw this, this seems fine to me. Earlier though, it put everyone into just the tiniest bit of pressure, I believe. So Paz Jordy's just taking a nice pull at the front. That looks like El Roland right behind him in the purple and white striped jersey there, with the Gure rider right beside them. Nice looking jersey. Oh, look at this. El Roland smashing out 10 watts per kilo. We have an attack. with 1 kilometer to go. Looks like El Roland is going on a solo breakaway. Hang on a second here, folks. Buckle up. Gil Matteo leaping across to catch El Roland. Actually, and El Roland, something happened there. I'm not sure if they had a quick disconnect. They're still there. Still there. Okay, thankfully. That would have been very unfortunate. So Gil Matteo jumped across as well. They've got a 15-meter lead over Risky's Gure. El Roland's back. Okay, good. I thought something bad happened there. El Roland's coming back up. Look at the power. He's smashing back up, 7-8 watts per kilo. But there's a 20-meter gap now to Gil Matteo with less than 500 meters to go. Can these 4 riders here, because they're all there still, can they reel back in Gil Matteo? This is the solo break. He's got a 28-meter lead, smashing out 6 watts per kilo at this point. Gil Matteo looks like a 60-kilogram rider. I don't think they're going to pull him back. He's got a gap. The finish line is in sight. Wow, look at that go. Cap blew past at almost 11 watts per kilo there. I got to jump back to past Jordy here because everything's going to finish real quick. Wow, that was incredible. So we just jumped back to Armada here. We're going to back up the road a little bit. El Roland kicked all that off. They kicked it off, and it forced Gil Matteo to react. But all of a sudden, they had that little 15-meter break. And something strange happened there because I saw all of a sudden El Roland just vanished for a second. I thought they disconnected, but then they were right back in the race. Huge kick at the end by El Roland. And huge effort by Gil Matteo just to keep the power on and just time trial away for the win. Excellent job. So here we got Armada still doing the ride. The riders behind still haven't caught them. Armada's only a kilometer from the finish now. The riders behind are 155 meters back. Don't believe they'll catch them. So we're jumping back to the 7th place position. We've got SP Erlates, Ender Wiggum. So we're going to have Armada's going to finish alone, and then we're going to have a 3-rider sprint for 6th, 7th, and 8th. So you can see here, Armada's within 750 meters. They're not going to pull that back. We're probably just going to hang around here in the 7th, 8th, and 9th and see what happens here. Let's call this out. So we got our Erlates here, we got SP, and we got Ender Wiggum. Riding, high 3 watt per kilo into low 4 watt per kilo type stuff. We're only 700 meters from the finish. We still have Armada just up the road, but they won't catch them. It's interesting here too. We have 2 Gure riders, which is Erlates and Wiggum, teaming up against SP here. Let's see how this goes down. Is someone going to lead someone out? Still rolling high, 3 watts per kilo. Very strong riders. Yeah, these are good riders here. Getting close to the finish. We're 400 meters to go. Looks like Wiggum's going to try to go into the lead here. SP is now putting down more power, just keeping an eye on them, kind of spinning it up a little bit. 6 watts per kilo. Looks like SP might go for a sprint here now. SP 9 watts per kilo. Looks like, Erlates is counter-attacking with 10 watts per kilo. Erlates is coming over the shoulder of SP to secure 7th place for Team Gure. SP gets 8th, and Wiggum like a millisecond behind in 9th place. That was an awesome sprint. I've got to catch up again with these riders. Oh, we got more riders coming to the finish here. We've got Sadis coming for 10th place. Marquitos looks like 11th. Klaus Kinski coming in 12th. Marquitos might catch Sadis if he's... Nope, looks like he's safe there. Sorry, I missed a couple. I saw Zav Bolo just cross. And Espelio. Sorry, folks, I missed some of that, but I was too busy bouncing around. We're just going to jump back here. There's another little battle. Looks like Taquito got away, so there was the 3 riders. Interesting. These 3 riders were together. Wooden Wheels got dropped. Well, got gapped 10, 12 meters. Fought his way back on. Then the last time I came back to them, Wooden Wheels was 60 to 70 meters behind them. Now, it looks like Gaetan and Wooden Wheels are back together. So Wooden Wheels, in the meantime, has caught right back on with Gaetan. just putting out huge effort again to jump back on, but Taquito has managed to slip away. So Taquito now at this point is less than 700 meters to finish. So Taquito's going to finish alone. Unless they have a mechanical and blow up on the side of the road. They're on the aero bike here. They're riding the Cervelo S5. Just take a look at the handlebars. You can always tell who's got what bike if you look closely. And it looks like we're going to have a 2-up sprint between Wooden Wheels and Gaetan. Wooden Wheels has decided to go early, I believe. Putting Gaetan under pressure. Has got an 8-meter gap at this point. Really impressive by Wooden Wheels because from what I saw earlier, they got gapped twice and came back twice. And now they are sprinting for 18th place. Gaetan's working hard though, 4 watts per kilo. Gaetan's in the Skoda, the green Skoda jersey. Oh, Gaetan is back on Wooden Wheels. We still got 400 meters to go. Gaetan's going to come around here at almost 5 watts per kilo. Wooden Wheels is countering at 7, 8 watts per kilo. Wooden Wheels dropping the sprint. This is awesome to watch. So where these two are just dueling each other right to the bitter end. And this is for 18th position, folks. Some of the funnest racing is back here. I mean, look at them. 4 countering with 6 watts per kilo. Who's got just that? And 10 watts per kilo out of Wooden Wheels. 13 watts per kilo out of Wooden Wheels last second. And Gaetan dropping 11 as well. Almost going to catch Wooden Wheels. Wow. That was awesome. Sorry, folks. A little bit excited by watching that. Big numbers at the end. Just hammering on each other. Trying to break each other. And they couldn't. They tried for that last kilometer. It just back and forward the whole way. That was awesome racing there. We're going to drop back here to 20th. We've got a Gure rider, Trek. Radabalo Saposa coming in 21st place. Now these riders are all kind of separated. I think they'll finish this way. Yeah, so Trek's going to cross the finish line for 20th. Saposa will come across in 21st with Macacop chasing hard but too far back to do anything. We've got Crompton. They are by themselves as well. I'm just going to have a quick peek here to make sure. Yep, Crompton's by themselves. Silv 30, 330. Your name always messes me up. I'll probably always butcher it, but good job coming back through the field. I know you didn't have a great start. We've got S. McCullough doing their thing. They've got a cute little dog as their avatar here, you can see at the top. So McCullough's out there doing theirs. 25th position, getting close to the finish. Philippe MG. Yeah, so at this point, everyone's scattered out far enough. I don't think anything's going to change. We got 8 CRH15, who I just want to keep calling you Chris. In the black jersey, we've got Tukuski out there. We've got a Gure member here from Joda, who is actually just on Tukuski's wheel. So these guys are going to have a little battle at the end. Who's got what left? Tukuski's just trying to hold the lead so that the Gure rider, Joda, can't get any drafting. He's making Joda do all the work to come back on. And which it looks like Joda's doing. Joda's slowly pulling him back. They may know each other for all I know. They could be just waiting. You know, maybe I'm making it too dramatic, but we'll soon see here, right? We've got, I think it's Gerson Lucci, come up behind them in 31st place. Bondi is still out there doing their thing, looking sharp. Not far to go now. And Leo 7. Leo 7, where are you on course? You're there. Leo 7 has just got 5 kilometers to go. Great job, Leo. You're doing very well. You'll get through this in no time. So let's head back up here. Yeah, so yeah, you can see here, everyone's going to finish in their own position. The gaps are too big. The race is settled out. So let's try to find the one that's got the best chance. Oh, there goes Joda, going past Tukuski, making Tukuski react to get back on their wheel. Okay, Tukuski had to stand up there, I think, to drop some power. Got back on, let off, trying to drop some power again. Get into that draft. Tukuski's power is kind of up and down. I think they're just hanging on to Joda right now. So these two still have 2 kilometers to go, but tell you what, I'm going to stay to watch these two to the end. I'm going to stay to right to 30th position. I think the riders behind them are a little bit too far back. So, yeah, let's follow the Gure rider right to the end. I don't think we have any Gure riders ahead of us at this point. And I hope I'm pronouncing that right when I say Gure. I'm not sure if you say it slightly different or not. Here's Sylv finishing. Just cruising across the line here. You know, just barely pedaling, just soft pedaling at this point. Doing the cool down already. Joda with Tukuski still. And yeah, the rest are all separated by 300 to 400 meters to like each group. Nothing's going to change at this point. This is our last little battle we get to watch. See who's going to make a jump early. See who's going to wait to the end for the sprint. And you know, the front 5 earlier too, like, they were hammering hard from, you know, a kilometer out. It wasn't like just a slow wind-up. It was pretty explosive, the jump. So these two are back together here. I'm not sure if we're going to see a big duel or not. They might be just, hey, let's get through this together. We did a ride today. Speaking of which, I need to do a ride today. And I did want to just point out, there's a recommended challenge right now. So it's a workout challenge. And, you know, I just did put out my first ever workout video. And when I say first ever workout video, I mean first ever workout as well. It's not like I've done 100 of them and it's my first video. I loved it. And I think Rouvy's really encouraging people to do the workouts. Remember, on the workouts, you're not going to earn gold coins. You will earn green XP, which will level you up. Gold coins, remember, are for your bikes, for buying bikes and stuff. Hopefully buying further things down the road. But the good thing about this workout today is that it's a challenge workout. And as a little bit of a bonus, I think we get an extra 800 XP just for doing the workout. I think it's a 35-minute workout. You're going to get an extra 800 XP, plus let's just say 150 for the workout. You're going to get 950 XP. That would normally take you probably 3 hours of riding. You're going to get that in 35 minutes. That's only a week-long challenge. It ends next Sunday, so get out there. If you're trying to level up as fast as you can, that's just a little pro tip / trick, whatever you want to call it, to help you level up. Scan through the app and look for those things with those little plus numbers. And then what I usually do afterwards, because I still want my coins, because I do want to buy the Giant Propel. It's the next bike I want. Let's see what's going on here with these two. Sorry. Tukuski, Joda Gure. Oh, unfortunate for Joda. They just had a quick disconnect there. Something dropped. Probably a Wi-Fi issue. And it stopped them momentarily, allowing Tukuski to slip away. Technology, right? That could have been a really good sprint finish. So Tukuski, I'm not sure if they knew what's happening there, but they're coming back. And wow, I didn't notice that Gure was so close, because they've just zipped past Joda. So Tukuski's just finishing, and Gure is riding 5 watts per kilo to the finish. Bigger rider, I think. And then we're going to have Joda Gure cross the finish line. And sorry, folks, that's where I'm going to end the video today. What an awesome race. I'm so glad I jumped into this one to watch it. And I hope you like the commentary. And if you do, please give me a like or a comment, or, hey, please subscribe. I need some subscribers to let me know I'm doing the right stuff on here. And then I can focus on what you people want. Okay, great watching my first ever Gure race. I'm going to follow a lot more of these. See you later.